Good morning, Your Excellencies, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Colin McCann. As a member of the IVI Global Council Secretariat, it's my honor to welcome you here this morning and begin this meeting. I'll start off by talking about the issue of quorum. Rule 8 of the Global Council Rules and Procedure requires that 1/3 of the Global Council members are present to open sessions. And the presence of a majority is required to constitute a quorum. Today, we have 20 out of 27 state parties in attendance, both in person and online, which constitutes roughly 3/4 or 75% of our member states. With that, we do have a quorum to begin our meeting and discussions. With that, I would now like to invite Dr. Opart Karnkawinpong, the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Public Health of Taiwan, to provide his remarks as the President of the IVI Global Council. Dr. Opart.
Thank you. Mr. George Bickerstaff, Chairperson of the IVI Board of Trustees. Dr. Anders Nordstrom, Chairperson of the IVI Global Advisory Group of Experts. Dr. Jerome Kim, Director General of the International Vaccine Institute, esteemed members of the IVI Board of Trustees and the IVI Global Council, honorable guests, good morning, สวัสดีครับ It is both honor and a great pleasure to welcome you to this important session of the IVI Global Council. Looking back to our last in-person meeting held in Bangkok on September 23, 2024, I remain inspired by the energy and commitment shown by all of you as we came together to address pressing global health challenges and chart a forward-looking agenda. That meeting was particularly meaningful as it marked our collective call to include leptospirosis on the World Health Organization list of neglected tropical diseases. This year, IVI has continued to advance this important initiative by organizing a side event at the 78th World Health Assembly, aiming to bring global attention and momentum on this critical issue. Today's meeting provides us with a valuable opportunity to reflect on our shared goals, address key challenges, and strengthen our collaboration to advance global health. We are here to discuss critical topics that align with our mission, and your expertise and insights are essential in guiding our effort forward. As we work together, I am confident that today's discussions will lead to meaningful outcomes and pave the way for ever greater success in the future. This meeting places a special emphasis on member state remarks and national vaccine strategies, which I believe will provide invaluable insight into country priorities and expectations. This contribution will guide and shape IVI scientific and strategic direction moving forward. In particular, our focus will be on influenza vaccine preparedness, especially for H5 influenza, as we face the increasing threat of zoonotic diseases and potential pandemics. It is crucial that we strengthen our collective effort in research, development, and the fair distribution of influenza vaccines. I look forward to the productive dialogue we will have, and I believe that By the end of this meeting, we will have made significant progress toward achieving our shared goals. Thank you again for your time and commitment, and I certain that this meeting will be fruitful and successful one. Thank you ขอบคุณครับ
Thank you, Dr. Opart. I would now like to invite Dr. Jerome Kim, Director General of IVI, to deliver his opening remarks.
Annyeonghasimnika, or good morning, to all of our honorable representatives, to the Global Council President, Dr. Opart Karnkawinpong, Your Excellencies and distinguished guests. My name is Jerome Kim, and I'm the Director General of the International Vaccine Institute. On behalf of the IVI Global Council Secretariat, it's my honor and pleasure to welcome you here to the 2025 IVI Global Council. The past year marked a significant milestone for the Global Council as we witnessed Thailand become the first IVI member state to assume the Global Council presidency. Under the dedicated leadership of Dr. Opart Karnkawinpong, Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Public Health, Thailand, Thailand hosted a productive and impactful Global Council meeting in Bangkok last September. Thailand's generous contributions and strategic insights have been truly invaluable to IVI's work. Thank you. As we prepare to select the next president of the IVI Global Council, I want to express our sincere gratitude to Dr. Opart, the Ministry of Public Health, and the Kingdom of Thailand for their exemplary leadership and for setting a high standard for future Global Council presidents. I'd also like to express my gratitude to all the representatives from IVI member states, including ambassadors from our local diplomatic corps, who are attending this meeting in person and virtually. The time and commitment that you bring are essential, and your diverse perspectives are highly valued. This year's quorum constitutes the largest ever gathering of IVI member states and representatives, and I'd like to recognize and congratulate all of you for this accomplishment. Our discussions yesterday during the Andong field trip included the first combined Board of Trustees Global Council meeting, and continuing today to highlight new challenges and opportunities in global health. Funding cuts by some of the largest traditional health donors have had a profound impact across the global health ecosystem, from workforce reductions to the closure of vital local health programs in low and middle income countries. IVI is closely monitoring these global health disruptions and is in close communication with our partners and stakeholders, including many of you. We remain focused on our mission to discover, develop, and deliver safe, effective, and affordable vaccines for global health. We're steadfast in our commitment to enable countries to enhance their own vaccine security through research, development, and capacity development. To date, IVI has not experienced a direct or indirect impact significantly reducing our operations. We understand that many countries have had impacts and look to pursuing sustainable solutions together. We greatly appreciate the invaluable insights you shared at yesterday's combined Board of Trustees Global Council meeting. Such discussion enables IVI to advance our mission, informs how we may best work together, and provides insight into how we may collectively address the challenges and opportunities shaping the global health landscape. I look forward to hearing more shortly during the member statements, including your national strategies, pandemic preparedness, vaccine research and development, and capacity building needs. I appreciate the government of Thailand dedicating time to discuss the H5N1 avian influenza outbreaks around the world. We're honored to have Professor Uju Kim from Korea University to open the discussion with a global overview. In closing, IVI is committed to service, both to people suffering from the plight of vaccine-preventable infectious diseases and to you, the member states of the Global Council. The IVI Global Council provides a crucial platform for IVI member states to articulate how IVI may best serve their country's needs and the broader global health agenda. Once again, I thank you for your presence here today and look forward to this important meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Jerome. I would now like to invite Mr. George Bickerstaff, Chairperson of the IVI Board of Trustees, to deliver his welcome remarks.
Hey, thanks, Colin. Thank you, Jerome. Dr. Opart, thank you for being our president and leading the organization for the last year. And thank you, Thailand, for being so supportive. And it'd be remiss in not thanking Korea for hosting us and being the reason we're here now. We had our first board meeting with the Global Council yesterday, and the day before we had a board meeting with the Board of Trustees of IVI. It was extraordinary. What's even more extraordinary is we have 5 new members coming onto our board who are extraordinary. They're thought leaders, they're recognized globally. They will help us collectively to achieve the objectives of IVI and global health. I echo Jerome's comments and thanks for all of you and the work you've done. It's been extraordinary. This is, in effect, the 3rd year that we've had the Global Council, and it's getting better and better. IVI has only been 30 years old. You're here 3 years, so you're only 1/10, so I can't wait until you're 30 years with us as well. Yesterday, we had a wonderful meeting at Andong. We had a chance to visit SK Bio and to learn a lot about the biocenters being prepared and put together in Korea. It was very encouraging to have the Global Council members there. But I think the most fundamental question is we're now at a crossroads, and the crossroads is driven not now by a little virus called COVID-19 that caught us by surprise 5 years ago, almost to the date. It's because of funding losses that occurred, mostly driven by the United States, my home country. We could view this crisis very bad, and it is bad. It's challenging the World Health Organization, the NIH, the USAID, and the implications. But let me encourage everyone that what happened to IVI and global health after COVID was extraordinary. The world came together, we got stronger, it enabled this event to occur, and we came out in a very good way. I assure you, IVI and this group will come out stronger because of this crisis, because we'll bond together around key objectives to make the world better. It's an opportunity set as well as a crisis. I hope we capture that opportunity set because it's quite large. I look forward to working with everybody, hearing the report out from each of you. It's going to be exciting to see that. I'd encourage you to think about the next 3, 5, 10 years, up until 30 years, where you're as old as we are. Have a great day. Thank you very much.
Thank you, George. I would now like to invite Dr. Anders Nordstrom, Chairperson of the IVI Global Advisory Group of Experts, to provide his remarks.
No, thank you very much. I'm chairing a group of international experts that advise both the board and the CEO of IVI, and we're meeting later on this afternoon. On our agenda today, we're going to speak about what does this new political landscape actually mean also for IVI. And I think in addition to what George said here, yes, funding, but it's not just funding. It's also that what kind of functions do we need in the international system, I think will change. I think we are at a crossroad. I think also in terms of institutions, I mean, yes, WHO is in a financial crisis, but I think this also would trigger a discussion about what kind of international organizations and functions will we need for the future. But also, I mean, we are a group of I'm a former ambassador, but also former ministers, talk about the political landscape. And we're here in Korea today. I think the landscape, if I may say so, hopefully it's not only going to be about the US. The landscape is very much going to be about what is also happening in other parts of the world. And in this part of the world, not just China, but Korea, Singapore, Malaysia, Indonesia, Australia. I've been spending quite a lot of time now in the Middle East. There is now an interest actually to also to take more of a political responsibility for global health. So I think what this is also going to trigger is that we will look back now as this year 2025, also in some way as a paradigm shift, both when it comes to finance, institutions, but also politically, who's actually going to be engaged and drive global health in the future. We've seen enormous progress during the last 25 years. We need to continue, but I think it would look different if we look back now, again, 25 years from here. Thank you.
Thank you, Anders. At this time, we are going to give our Global Council representatives an opportunity to introduce themselves. We're going to start online with the Republic of Austria. If Dr. Hima Bauer is online, if she can speak and just briefly introduce herself.
Good morning, everybody. I'm excited to participate online. Unfortunately, I cannot be in Korea today. My name is Hema Bauer. I'm the head of the Life Science Unit in the Austrian Ministry of Female Science and Research.
All right, thank you very much.
Sorry, there is kind of a...
That's enough, and we look forward to hearing from you later, Dr. Bauer. Thank you.
Thank you, and good morning.
Thank you. Next, we'll move to some of our in-person participants, and we'll start with Brazil, please.
Good morning, everybody, colleagues, Dr. Kim, the representatives. I am Marcia Donner, the Brazilian ambassador to South Korea. I am participating today because we just had a change of Minister of Health in Brazil, and the person who should be here has been promoted to a different position and wouldn't be able to come. But I look forward to a very interesting meeting. Thank you.
Thank you. Please, next, Ecuador.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. My name is Cristina Jacome. I'm a National Director of Immunization for Ministry of Health in Ecuador. Today, I would like to express my gratitude for allowing me to part in the meeting and to say that this initiative allows for the exchange experience and maintain good relation with the IVI. This is crucial for Ecuador for several reasons, especially in the context of public health and the disease prevention.
It's not your intervention. No, it's intervention.
Thank you.
Presentation.
Okay.
No worries. Thank you
you.
very much. Now, please, El Salvador.
Yes, good morning, everyone. My name is Amaury Morales. I am the head of Infectious Diseases Department and Ministry of Health of El Salvador. Thank you for the opportunity and welcome, everybody.
Thank you. Finland.
Good morning. It's such a pleasure. It's an honor to participate. This is Marcela Sosa, a Minister Counselor from the Embassy of El Salvador.
Okay, thank you. Please.
Good morning, everybody. I'm in a double duty this week, also a board member. I'm representing Finland, and I am Deputy Director for International Affairs at the Finnish Ministry of Social Affairs and Health.
Thank you. India.
Good morning to all of you. I'm Meera Srivastav. I'm working presently in the capacity of Joint Secretary in the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, Government of India. I take care of the immunization programs in the country, and thank you for the invite. I'm looking forward to the discussion.
Thank you. Please.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Yu Kyung Lee from Korea. Korea Disease Control and Prevention Agency. I'm Charles Ian, Director of Vaccine Development Coordination Division. Nice to meet you, everybody. Looking forward to a very nice, fruitful today's meeting. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, Pakistan.
Good morning. I'm representing Pakistan. My name is Rahim Shah, and I am supervising the vaccine at the National Institute of Health, Islamabad, and also leading the mRNA technology transfer from MPP. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, Peru.
Panama.
Oh, Panama. Sorry. I'm sorry, Dr. Ortega.
Thank you very much. Good morning. Eduardo Ortega Barria. I am the National Secretary of Science and Technology of Panama. It is an honor to address this council on behalf of Minister of Health, Fernando Boy Galindo, who sent his respectful greetings from Panama. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Ortega. Now, Peru.
Good morning, everyone. I am Paul Duclos, Ambassador of Peru to the Republic of Korea. Very pleased to be here and to share the views of my country, Peru, particularly of the technical immunization team of my country. Thank you.
Thank you. Philippines.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Director Annalisa Hombrado Duran from the DOH Research Institute for Tropical Medicine. It's my honor to be here and be part of this IVI meeting. I would also like to introduce my Secretary of Health, Secretary Teodoro Herbosa, who is currently online. Secretary Herbosa.
The secretary may not be available at this moment, but will be joining later.
Maybe I can call him later. Thank you very much.
Yeah, certainly. At this point, we're going to go next online to Rwanda. Do we have the Rwandan representative?
Yes, thank you. Good morning. My name is Hassan Sibamana. I'm Director of Vaccine Programs at the Ministry of Health. I'm very happy actually to join you online. Thank you.
Thank you. And next, the representative from Spain joining online. Danielle, are you there? Okay, we can come back to Spain later. At this point, moving on to Sri Lanka.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Dr. Mahindra Arnal, representing the government of Sri Lanka, and I work as the Deputy Director General, Public Health Services of the Ministry of Health, Sri Lanka. Thank you.
Yes, Sweden, please.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Dr. Johanna Rubin, representing Sweden from the Public Health Agency of Sweden, the Department for Vaccination Programs. Thank you.
Thank you. United Arab Emirates.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Layla Al-Jasmi, Head of Communicable Diseases and Immunization Section at Ministry of Health and Prevention, United Arab Emirates. Thank you.
Thank you. Uzbekistan.
Good morning. My name is Nurmat Atabekov. I am first Vice Chairman, Central Epidemiological Committee, Minister of Health, Republic of Uzbekistan. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And online, we have Vietnam.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Thanh, and I'm from Division of National Immunization Management of Vietnam Ministry of Health. And I'm very happy to be here. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you. One last chance for the representative of Spain. Do we have them online? Bearing in mind it is quite late. Okay, thank you very much. At this time, we're going to move on to the adoption of the Global Council agenda. And I would like to invite Ms. Young Mi Cho, Director of Global Affairs and Communications, to introduce the agenda.
Good morning, Global Council representatives and observers. Thank you for joining today's meeting, and I hope you enjoyed the trip to Andong yesterday and not too much tired. Today, we will discuss, after adoption of the agenda, we will discuss the Global Council presidency for the next term. So the term cover 2026 and 2027. And then Secretariat will inform you the current status and progress. And then next, Dr. Jerome Kim will present IVI current updates and strategies. And then, Dr. Jerome Kim will receive questions, and then he will also answer to your questions. And before the session one closing, we have a coffee break. And then during the coffee break, we will invite all representatives to come forward and take a group photo. So we will have then coffee break, 15 minutes coffee break. Session 2 start with the member state remarks and national vaccine strategies. So we invite all the Global Council representatives to present their national strategies and their current plan. And then this avian influenza A, H5N1 discussion will be followed. And Dr. Uju Kim professor of Korea University in Korea. He will make an overview of the current H5N1 outbreak situation. And then Dr. Spon, Inspector General of Health Region 6 of the Permanent Secretary Office, will present the update regarding this H5N1. Okay. And then we will present the timing and also topics of the next Global Council meeting, which will be held virtually and hopefully within this year. And then we invite Dr. Opart, President, to make closing remarks. And when the meeting closes here, we will take a bus and then move to IVI headquarters building. So by bus takes 2 or 3 minutes. And then we hope you enjoy the lunch there and then do the afternoon program, which includes the site tour and some individual meetings. Thank you for that. And if any questions, please. Okay. So no questions, then I'll invite Dr. Opart to request adoption. Thank you.
Now I would like to request a motion to adopt the agenda as presented. If you have any addition or modification, please bring them to my attention now, please. No, okay. Agenda is adopted, and thank you for your attention. With no objection, the agenda is adopted. We can now proceed with the item outlines, and I look forward to productive and engaging meeting.
Thank you, Dr. Opart. On the topic of the nomination of the next Global Council President, I would like to invite to the podium Dr. Douglas Schaefer, Deputy Director General for Global Affairs and Communications at IVI, to provide you an update and briefing. Thank you.
Good morning and thank you, Colin. Honorable representatives, excellencies, and distinguished guests, IVI Director General Dr. Jerome Kim, Chairperson of the Global Advisory Group of Experts, Dr. Anders Nordström, Chairperson of the Board of Directors, Mr. George Bickerstaff, and Global Council President, Dr. Opart Karnkawinpong. I'm pleased to present an update on the next presidency election on behalf of the Secretariat. So with some background for the 2026-2027 Global Council Presidency, this will follow the rotation based on the alphabetical order of the WHO regions. We will be rotating to the Western Pacific region. The process will be nominated by the Global Council Secretariat and/or elected among the members of the presidency region. The president will serve for 2 years. The president shall preside over the Global Council meeting, help to craft effective Global Council meeting agendas in constructive partnership with the Global Council Secretariat, encourage full and robust participation of Global Council members at meetings and activities agreed in Global Council meetings, call to order and effectively chair the meetings of the Global Council, and coordinate and foster international cooperation among the state parties and IVI when requested. For this year, we're very fortunate to have considerations and consultations within the Western Pacific region, including China, Mongolia, the Philippines, South Korea, and Vietnam, as well as close collaboration and discussion with the presidency. We're very pleased to share 2 candidates and for proposed nomination, including the Philippines and South Korea. According for the next steps and by our rules of procedures, when we have the election, which will be proposed to be at the next virtual meeting in October, each representative shall 1 vote. All elections will be held by secret ballot unless otherwise decided by the Global Council, and decisions shall be made by a majority of members present and voting. All votes will be counted, dissented disseminated, and dissenting votes will be recorded and conflicts noted. We're very pleased and eager to share the active discussions and ongoing considerations as the Global Council proceeds to have two candidates. In consultation with the Global Council President, the Secretariat has recommended the election of the 2026-2027 presidency proceed at the next Global Council meeting this year. This will allow adequate time for member states to have considerations and deliberations. The Secretariat, in close collaboration with the presidency, will provide further information prior and closer to going up to the Global Council meeting. We look forward to the selection process and deeply appreciate interest within the Western Pacific region. Thank you.
Thank you, Doug. I would now like to invite Dr. Opart to initiate. Excuse me. Yeah, please.
Thank you very much. I just have a question. Does the president of the Global Council serve on a personal capacity, or is it a country national representation?
I'm sorry, could you repeat the question?
Yes. Does the Global Council representative serve in a personal capacity or as a representative of their country?
The Global Council president serves as the representative of the member state.
This I understand, but is a personal selection, or it is just we select Philippines or Korea?
Thank you for the clarification. The election is based upon the member state. The member state, under the procedures, will select the individual.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Do we have any additional questions or comments? Just to verify, we will be holding this election at our next online session later in the year. Seeing no additional feedback, we'll go ahead and invite Dr. Opart to initiate the next agenda item, the strategic update.
Maybe Dr. Jerome Kim. Yeah. Dr. Kim, please, to deliver the presentation, please. Yeah.
Yeah, Jerome, you may please begin your presentation.
Thank you. Good morning to all. This is the annual IVI update, and afterwards we will be able to answer some questions. If you'd like a copy, we can provide a PDF very easily. This gives you an idea of the institutional overview, and what you see here is the organization of IVI, and what is shown in the two boxes to the left and to the right of the DG office are the international offices. But IVI is designed a bit like a company. You see we have epidemiology, we have a laboratory, we have the clinical and regulatory group, and then we have special groups, including the Global Affairs group, the Finance and Operations, and others. So roughly 274 people, although that number has been increasing steadily over the last several years. Just to give you a better idea of the European regional office structure here, Dr. Anwar Tel, who is sitting in the back there and is able to answer any questions about the European regional office, leads this office and 14 different people. There's a hope that this office will grow to be 20 by the end of the year. The African regional office is still relatively new, and Dr. Nkezen Dembi is also here and able to answer questions. Right now, it has a single member and also someone seconded from Doug's Global Affairs group. So this is an office that we hope will grow over time, and with that increase its funding and the opportunities for work, significant collaboration, and extension of IVI's presence in Africa. This is a complicated slide, and it really goes through our vaccine portfolio under Discover, Develop, and Deliver, and then also a separate category under Epidemiology and Surveillance. So Discover means the vaccines that are still in the laboratory. Develop means vaccines that are in human clinical trials. Delivery means vaccines that are approved in some country or have WHO pre-qualification, but where IVI is generating real-world evidence about the effectiveness or cost-effectiveness of these vaccinations. And epidemiology and surveillance helps us to understand the burden of disease, of the neglected diseases in the IVI portfolio. This is critical because for us to justify working on a vaccine, we have to be able to show that the disease that it causes is significant and has a burden. What is also shown here, and this is the first time we've really shown this presentation to you, is that in a disease like cholera, a bacterial disease, so these are the bacterial vaccines that we're working on, IVIs work throughout the value chain, so under discovery, development, and delivery, and then epidemiology and surveillance. So you can see how our activity works across the value chain. When you see IVI, and if you see it in discovery, it means the vaccine originated at IVI. So this is a vaccine that was taken start to finish with work from IVI in different departments, in this case, largely with funding from the Gates Foundation, but now increasingly with funding for others, as we begin to understand better how that vaccine is used around the world. But you can see that now for group A strep, that's gas, leptospirosis, invasive non-typhoidal salmonella, salmonella typhi, work that IVI has done goes really across the value chain. But importantly, what you see in the other parts of the slide are those companies and organizations or government institutions that we partner with. This is an important point of this. IVI does not have to originate the vaccine. We are happy to partner with companies that are developing vaccines or universities that would like to see a vaccine developed and help to obtain funding in order to move the vaccine across the pipeline. It's important because the skill sets that IVI brings allow the industrialization of a vaccine, the successful technology transfer of a vaccine. All of these things are a very critical component of building capabilities within countries to be able to work on new vaccines. This is the viral pipeline. So you can see that we work on a significant number of viruses. Many of them are emerging viruses. Some of them are very new. For instance, you see Rift Valley fever there. That's a partnership with a small South African biotech company called Afrigen. This is really important because it's really Afrigen's first big grant from CEPI. It's going to develop an mRNA vaccine with IVI for use in the parts of Africa affected by Rift Valley fever, which is primarily in East Africa and the southern part of Africa. It's also very important because in this case, we worked with Afrigen as the lead. So IVI took a secondary position, is a backup to Afrigen, is a support of Afrigen, and does certain components within the grant. But we thought it was really important for countries and organizations within those countries to be successful at securing grants, being able to write them, being able to execute them, and to show global funders that this is possible. So the Afrigen effort is a very good example of how we can flip the model upside down. And IVI, it's, again, not about IVI. It's about developing vaccines that have impact in global health. What's shown at the bottom, and these others are kind of interesting. You probably won't know what MAP is, microarray patch. So 4 or 5 years ago, Gavi, the Global Alliance for Vaccines and Immunization, prioritized these microarray patches. So instead of a needle and syringe, we apply the vaccine to a patch. We put the patch on and take the patch off. There's no needle involved. You may not need to have a nurse involved. So for certain vaccines, this greatly facilitates the delivery of the vaccine, may reduce a little bit of the resistance that moms have to having their children injected. It's a new technology that has been prioritized by Gavi, and it turns out that there are several companies, including some in Korea, that are at the cutting edge of this technology. So the first in-human trial of a GMP approved, so good manufacturing practices, so a high level of certification patch started 2 weeks ago here in Korea. And if this is successful, then we intend to apply this to other antigens as well. Things that really require high levels of vaccination, like measles, rubella, or polio, if that's possible, to, again, increase the acceptability of vaccination, but also to facilitate delivery, which we think is a really critical part of what we do. This shows you the progress against what IVI was supposed to do. And what you see here is just IVI's budget from 2015 to 2024. Those are actuals, and then the projection for 2025. And you can see the projection for 2025 is over $100 million. And you can see how that is divided up. If you look at the two pie charts, the first one is the actual budget. So you can see the Bill and Melinda Gates, BMGF, supplied 75% of IVI's funding in 2015. Now Bill and Melinda Gates is about 16 or 17%. CEPI is a bit over 25%, but we've greatly diversified the funders. This was important. IVI does not receive funding from USAID or much funding from the US government. So we've been relatively unimpacted directly by the things that have caused a huge turmoil in global health. What you see on the bottom are the vaccines that we work on. And we do work on a significant number of vaccines. That's the pie chart to the bottom right. You can see COVID is still a part of our portfolio, but others, including work on new forms of cholera vaccine. And it's actually these new forms of cholera vaccine that may actually have increased interest from developing country manufacturers because they can be partnered with other vaccines in combination to reduce the burden of vaccination for neglected diseases around the world. So again, the strategy was to diversify the funding pool and diversify the vaccines that we work on in order to protect IVI from any of these big changes in philosophy or strategy among the major funders. This just gives you an idea. In 2024, IVI had a almost record level of grant funding, over $100 million. This year, we're at $31 million year to date, and it looks like there are several others that are very close to being signed. So this number will change by the virtual meeting of the Global Council. This gives you a good idea, just a quick summary. The total number of grants in 2024, $101.2 million. The new grants in 2025, as of April, $31.1 million. In terms of the global footprint, the European office has been really remarkable, and I want to highlight this. So the Swedish government does support IVI, and we are really grateful for that. But for the $5 million in funding, roughly, that they give us every year, IVI has taken a portion of that and invested it in new grants. And for a $4 million investment in new grants, we've brought in $50 million of larger grant awards from organizations like the Wellcome Trust, the Gates Foundation, Open Philanthropy, the Elma Foundation. So we're using the funding from Sweden to amplify the impact of Swedish funding for global health. And I think that's a really critical component, and that's how the funders of IVI have a return on investment that is many-fold greater than the core funding that they provide to the Institute. The African Regional Office, again, is just starting. Nikkei's has been appointed the Deputy Director General. He's now hired people. They haven't started yet, but that office is up and running. And as well, IVI is positioned parts of the Global Affairs Group in Africa, again, reflecting our focus on that very critical region and on sustainable vaccine manufacturing there. The final new office is the Hong Kong Jockey Club Global Health Institute, supported by roughly $30 million worth of funding from the Hong Kong Jockey Club Charities Trust, the second largest charity in Asia. And this is actually a very important grant. It allows IVI to further develop the pre-industrial process for vaccines. Why is this important? Because we can't just transfer a vaccine from our laboratory to a company. What we have to do is optimize the production, write it all down, and transfer standard operating procedures along with that capability. And I can give you one example of that. IVI got a grant from BMBF to work with Butantan, which is a Brazilian company, to technology transfer the NIH dengue vaccine to Butantan. That was done successfully. The vaccine efficacy is about 80%, 79%, which is great. But that vaccine now has been licensed from Butantan by Merck. So it's been a backwards flow of technology and transition. This emphasizes the importance of the work that IVI does, because we're not only helping developing country manufacturers, but we also are supporting some of the activities of major pharma through a back door. So I think that's a really great example, because it shows you that technology is important. It doesn't matter who's making it. Under the final category, future-proofing governance, this Global Council meeting is the first proof that we're trying to better obtain opinion and recommendations from our member states, but also now the presence of 2 non-funding members on the board, I think is very important. Because again, it shows our commitment at the board level, at the highest level of governance of IVI, to being able to hear and respond to the requests from countries where IVI works. And as an international organization, we cannot lose track of the fact that we depend critically on the opinions of our member states. So these are some of the new initiatives. This goes through the African Regional Office. There you can see a picture of Nikes. I think he was sitting over there. Please, if you could stand, Nikes, so everyone can see you. If you have questions about the Africa Regional Office, Nikes is open to discuss. You can see the member states IVI has within the Africa region. And then a lot of the office itself will be devoted to capital development, capacity strengthening for biomanufacturing and sustainable manufacturing. A number of different grants have already gone in from this office. And so I think next year you'll be hearing a lot of the activity that Nikes and his group have put together. There's a second office that should be opening soon in Africa. We call it the AVIC Africa office. AVIC Africa stands for Advancing Vaccine End-to-End Capabilities, and this is IVI's commitment to put end-to-end capabilities within an office in Africa, and to move projects forward, not with people located in Seoul or people located in Stockholm, but people located in Africa who will then train other people in the art of and the techniques of vaccine research and development. A really important commitment for us in this case. This just gives you an example, and I don't have to go through it in detail, but this is a technology transfer of the simplified oral cholera vaccine to BioVac, which, if it's successful, will be the first successful technology transfer of drug substance manufacturing to Africa since the 1930s. This vaccine is in phase 3, so it's a comparison to the existing simplified oral cholera vaccine from U-Biologics here in Korea. It's very important because the funding for this was coming from multiple sources, including the Gates Foundation and others, with a significant component coming from FCDO, the Foreign and Commonwealth Development Office. Now, at the end of March, we heard from FCDO that all decisions would be deferred to the middle of the summer, and also that it's possible that the funding could be cut entirely. But what happened then was that other funders, the Wellcome Trust and the Gates Foundation, stepped up to fill the gap. And it's this flexibility around funding and the need to accomplish certain missions that are critical that allows IVI to work even in the setting where there have been disruptions in global health. We just hope that future disruptions will also be dealt with by our other funders successfully. This gives you an idea of what AVIC Africa currently has in its portfolio, the different manufacturers in Africa or soon-to-be manufacturers in Africa that we've been working with, the vaccine clinical trials that have been started or funding has been obtained, and finally the training programs that IVI has embarked upon within Africa. Again, all reflecting the work of the African Regional Office and the AVIC Africa still nascent project office. Importantly, the things with the stars, and I talked about Afrigen, the things with the stars are projects where IVI is not the lead, where we have taken a sub-awardee position so that the organizations that we work with can take responsibility for writing the grants and executing them for funders. The Jockey Club initiative, again, is very important. We've actually established now a not-for-profit in Hong Kong, which is important because then funding can come directly to IVI. But also, very importantly, we're very close to signing the final agreement with the Hong Kong University. And also, Hong Kong University has allowed us to start drawing on funding in advance of the agreement. So again, it's taken a little while to get all the legal documents in place, but this effort is going forward, and the Jockey Club has actually asked, and you can ask Dr. Florian Marks, who's sitting in the back there, a little bit more about this, but the Jockey Club has been asking us about the next 5 years of funding. So we're hoping that this effort will also continue to support the different activities under discovery, development, and delivery. Strategy update. So what you see in the pillars are the 3 components of the original strategy from 2022. Amplify the core, that means make IVI bigger and better at discovery, development, and delivery. Scale the global footprint, so take IVI out of Korea. In 2022, we only existed in Korea. And now you know that we exist in multiple locations around the world. And then future-proof governance. At that point, there was no voice from low and middle income countries on the board. There were no voices from countries that were not funders on the board of trustees. there was no Global Council. So there was no way for us to hear from the member states what was wanted. What you see now at the top of those pillars are where we are today. So you can see IVI's total budget has increased, nearly doubled from 2022. Our footprint has expanded now from just IVI in Korea to Africa, Europe, and Hong Kong. And then in terms of governance, we've added members to the Board of Trustees. We've created the Global Council and the Global Advisory Group of experts so that we can get opinions to future-proof governance. Now, the strategic update was then a variation on this. We're going to keep the pillars intact, amplify the core, scale the global footprint, future-proof governance. But in any organization with very rapid growth, there's going to be a need to stabilize the rapid growth, to make sure that that growth is sustainable. So what you see there going across are the things to strengthen what we've done up to 2024. That is, no longer just rely on 15% increase in IVI's budget every year, but to really look at new ways to fund the Institute that will make our growth sustainable. So strengthen growth, then integration. So we now have all these sites. We have to make them one IVI. And again, integration will stabilize the rapid growth and make the offices sustainable. And then finally, managing risk. So as we get into more and more countries and do more and more things, the risk that we undertake increases. So it was very important, and the board approved the creation of an enterprise risk management system. We created a new directorate under Vincent Kanwe to manage strategy, programs, quality, and risk. And we're making progress on the enterprise risk management component, and that's reported to the board through the Finance and Audit Committee. So again, very important things to stabilize growth and ensure that in the future, IVI will continue to grow. That being said, I think you don't have to read very far into the news, or in my case, in Google News, to see that there are some big changes that occurred in global health. And what are the potential risks for IVI? Well, there's a direct risk that IVI could have funding reduced because of USAID. There are several indirect risks. First, there's a risk that a project funded by a non-US source could have its funding removed because the organization says, well, supporting Gavi and WHO this year is more important than this project, and transfer funding away from an IVI project. The second indirect impact would be one of these organizations, like the Gates Foundation, will say, it has said, Gavi is critical to us. We are going to support Gavi. So other programs are being adjusted in order to do that. So that doesn't affect this year's funding, but could affect funding in 2026 or 2027. And the third indirect impact is a weakening of our subawardees. So many of the most successful IVI sites have funding from lots of different organizations, including USAID. So as funding is removed, people are being let go, and that may indirectly affect IVI projects. And that's something that we worry about a lot, that our collaborators are going to be weakened. So we've done a survey. So far, none of them are reporting any difficulty keeping up with the IVI project. So we hope to be able to continue to deliver on that scheme. What you see here are the queries to the funding countries. There may be a risk in one of the lines of Swedish funding. We hope not, because SIDA actually even last year increased IVI funding. But there is a potential because Sweden, like all the European Union countries and the members of NATO, are making reinvestments or reallocating their budgets to support defense. Again, potential fallout from a perceived lack of commitment by the United States. But we have to consider all these things. We're pretty sure that 2025 is stable. 2026, we're a little bit more worried, although again, it's a medium risk, and we're working with SIDA continuously to ensure that they are very well aware of what we are doing with Swedish support. So all in all, fairly low likelihood for 2026. We've been told by other funders that it's actually maybe not 2026, but it may be 2027, as additional commitments are exposed by the withdrawal of US funding. We're hoping that by then the global health situation will have stabilized a little bit, and so we'll have updates for you available in the second virtual meeting. So I think a few people have said that risk creates opportunity, or this disruption creates potential opportunities. So changes in IVI strategy, improving our insistence on self-reliance and capacity building. Regional and country engagements will become more important because as we look at this problem emerging, the need to collaborate with others, the need to work together, the need to find other partnerships in the global political sphere, I think are going to be really important. So, one of the new initiatives engages the BRICS countries and the BRICS Plus countries. I think this is important because increasingly we have to work together and find new ways to cooperate to make up for some of the losses that are being taken on now by global health. There are other product development partnerships, and we've been approached about collaborating or actually potentially merging different activities. And again, in a time when there's lots of money in global health, you don't need to do that. At a time when funding is reduced, we really should be looking for ways to become more efficient, remove redundancy. And then finally, talent acquisition. We're not sure because again, IVI, we are very careful about hiring people because we are based on project funding. 80% of our funding comes from projects, so we can't just hire someone who becomes available. But now there's a wave of people who with enormous qualifications in global health who could potentially be available for future work at IVI. One of the other things, and this is for the Global Council because one of the reasons that IVI is attractive to many is innovation. This gives you a very rapid, high-level view of the work that IVI has done, scientific publications, vaccine discovery projects, vaccine development projects, epidemiology and impact studies, 14 technology transfers of 6 different vaccines, and over 5,000 people trained. All very important, high-level things, but it really doesn't get to all the impact. So these are the publications. What are shown in the bars are the number of publications per year. So you can see pretty much there has been a slight increase over the last several years. The line shows you the impact factors. So one of the things scientists do is they measure the impact, how many times your publication has been cited. And you can see that there's a remarkably significant increase in the trend around impact, which I think is important. So we are increasing the number of papers, but importantly, the impact of those papers is more important. What you see in the table on the top is IVI compared to the Karolinska and Seoul National University as 2 reference points. This is our weighted impact factor. So, we're much smaller than the Karolinska and much, much smaller than Seoul National University, but you can see that our impact factor is comparable. And that's an important point, that scientifically we are making contributions that other people can consider impactful. This is a quick table. It isn't meant to be comprehensive, but it goes through the different global health needs, COVID, cholera, typhoid, improving vaccine uptake, and then the innovations that IVI is working on in order to have impact. So, COVID-19, the first AI-generated approved vaccine was actually one that we worked on with SK Bioscience. So their vaccine is called SkyCoV-1. The cholera vaccine, again, very important, 150 million doses dispensed around the world, maybe 377,000 lives saved from that innovation. Typhoid, improving vaccine uptake, those are the microarray patches. Vaccine security for countries that are part of IVI and even countries that are not, around the global training hub and technology transfer, and also, 14 tech transfers of 6 different vaccines. So this gives you a better view of the oral cholera vaccine, very important part of our portfolio, and then the impact. And we're working actually on a refined estimate of impact that we hope will soon be published. The board has asked us to track global health impact, and this is just preliminary work on how we will assess innovation and the impact of innovation in our discussions with the Board of Trustees. Finally, we wanted to say, this has just been released. Dr. Nikesh Ndembi, again, Nikesh, can you stand up, please? So everyone can see you and congratulate you, but he's named Time 100 Most Influential People in Health, and it was announced just yesterday. We've posted it now on our website, but please offer your congratulations to Nikesh for the remarkable work that he's done, initially at the Africa CDC and others, but now at IVI.
Okay. Thank you, Jerome. Dr. Opart?
Thank you, Dr. Kim, for the inclusive presentation. If the members that you have any question or comments, please.
Yeah, Yeah, I would like to invite any member states who would like to ask questions or make comments. Please raise your placard and we will call upon you in order. Recognizing Brazil.
Thank you very much. Well, it's just a very brief comment, but as always, I'm amazed by the great work of IVI, and I would like to congratulate Dr. Jerome Kim and all his team here at the International Institute for the Vaccine, but also all the donor countries and institutions and the companies involved in this discovery, development, and delivery of vaccines. I think it's an outstanding work, and really, I do sincerely hope that the comments made by the chief expert, let me see, the chairperson of the Board of Trustees and the chairperson of the Global Advisory Group of Experts, Doctors Bickerstaff and Nordstrom, are truly true the fact, and that we are not going to suffer so much from funding risks that were so well explained by Dr. Kim. Thank you.
Thank you, Ambassador Upro. Please, Dr. Nakorn, Thailand.
Yeah, thank you very much. I'm speaking on behalf of the representative of Thailand, as we are the member state of the Global Council and also for IVI. I applaud the progress of the IVI, especially the work for the neglected tropical disease and also the vaccine for the developing country. This is very impressive. And having seen the work on that IVI work on training that mentioned in African region, I would like to add that IVI is also working with Thailand on behalf of ASEAN Vaccine Security and Self-Reliance. And we have the member state join the Global Council meeting today for the Philippines and Vietnam and Thailand for the ASEAN member states, that we commend the contribution of IVI, which working with that on human resource development. Last year, we jointly conduct a training for ASEAN member states in Thailand on vaccinology. And this year, we are going to have that kind of training again in August, that it's a kind of joint working between IVI and National Vaccine Institute of Thailand. So that one point that I would like to add to the meeting. The second point is about that having seen the KBio CMO Center yesterday, I think some of us have seen the training center over there. I would like to encourage IVI to take the opportunity with the Global Council member state to see if we can have the human resource development training from member state, particularly on the manufacturing, that the KBio CMO Center has a very good training center over here at Andong. I think it is very important if we can move the capacity building of the member state who are interested in the building up the manufacturing capacity. So this is a way that we can work together between member state and IVI. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Dr. Nakorn. We will work to try and find a way to fund several new programs at the KBio Center. Thanks.
We welcome any additional comments or questions for Jerome. Yes, please, recognizing Kenya.
Thank you very much, Jerome, speaking from Kenya. First, we want to really appreciate the work that IVI is doing, this great work that especially now again that particular focus on Africa. We are really very grateful that we are now having this focus that we are doing. We are working together because of the impact it's going to give to our continent. One question which I just want to get a clarification is that how is the issues of IP when you are working with these donors, when you're working with the partners? Is it an issue as a challenge or it's not a problem?
Thanks, Professor Songbuk. That's a really great question. So IVI itself doesn't take patents out. We publish, or we try to publish very quickly so that the IP is now made public. But what we do have is what we call know-how. And so that is a part of a technology transfer. The receiving institution does pay for the transfer, but there are no licensing fees for vaccines used in public health campaigns or for global health. If the vaccines are sold on the private market, and of course, we can tell you the global oral cholera vaccine private market sales are much less than $5,000 a year. So we don't get any royalty on that at all, and haven't for all the time that the vaccine has been available. For typhoid conjugate vaccine, it will be the same general rule, no royalties or licensing fees for any vaccine used in national public health programs or for global health. Some of the programs that we work with, and now through the Wright Foundation or the Gates Foundation, the Wellcome Trust, already have global access clauses built into them. So again, we make those technologies available. And now in an actually much broader activity, which we're called 100 and More, where we're partnered with the University of Pennsylvania, Professor Drew Weissman, who won the Nobel Prize for mRNA, and others. The University of Pennsylvania is committed to provide the technology to low and middle income countries without any royalties. So again, I think we're making progress. It's been, depends on the vaccine and the organization, but I think we have a group of partners who are willing to do this. Actually, Thailand is a part of this 100 and More project as well. I mean, a very important partner. So if we get this grant, it will be an important point to make that the things that are produced, the vaccines and therapeutics from mRNA, done with the assistance of Drew Weissman or Professor Kiat at Chulalongkorn or others, will be without licensing fees for low and middle income countries. I think very important.
Yeah, recognizing Peru.
Thank you very much, Director General, for your illustrative presentation. I just would like to emphasize the importance of the relationship with embassies here in Korea with the IVI, because when we know, for example, the portfolio that you are developing in our countries, we can also generate synergies with the other measures of cooperation. No? For example, we receive several cooperation from the Korean government that they are related with what we're talking today. No? For example, last week, it was inaugurated a laboratory in the rainforest of Peru to study the prevalence of tropical and somatic diseases. So it means that when we know what we are doing with IVI, also we can generate synergies, also what we can do with the Korean government side by side. No? So this is my comment, and thank you very much again.
Yeah, thank you. That's a really great comment. And I think increasingly now, in the beginning of IVI, there wasn't a big focus on Latin America because it wasn't a Gates Foundation target. But you know now that Gates is not our major funder anymore. So increasingly there have been efforts to, and I think many of them done by Dr. Florian Marx, who's working actually in Peru on some epidemiology projects, and also now in Brazil. And then also the chikungunya program was involved in several Latin American countries. So again, I think your point is well taken, and we have to make a much more concerted effort to engage with the member states in Central and South America. Okay.
Welcoming any questions or comments from the Global Council. Well, if there are none, I'm happy to inform you that we are approximately, about 15 minutes ahead of schedule. So next up, we're going to have a 15-minute coffee break, and we're also going to do a group photo outside. There's a photo wall, and we would like to invite our Global Council representatives, IVI leadership, and the Global Council Secretariat to join us for the group photo outside. Oh, okay. Yeah, let's improvise. We can do a group photo here on the stairs. I think there's a lot of us, and we can all line up. So At this point, we can begin our break, and I would like to invite all of you up for a group photo. All right, welcome back, everyone. And to those of us online, thank you for waiting. Sorry for the bit of a delay. I'd now like to invite Dr. Opart to start our next session, please.
Thank you. Welcome back, everyone. I hope you had a refreshing break. We will now begin our next session, Member State Remarks and National Vaccine Strategy. This session provides an opportunity for you to share your current priorities and perspectives related to national vaccine strategy, capabilities, and challenges. Each member will have 3 minutes for your remarks, and we encourage you to offer valuable insights and recommendations to guide IVI future works in vaccine development, equity, and access. For your kind attention, each presentation is limited to 3 minutes. Let me invite Mr. McCain to moderate this session, please.
Thank you, Dr. Opart. Before we begin, just a bit of housekeeping. As Dr. Opart mentioned, you have 3 minutes for your remarks. My colleague Andari Mogeni from the Global Council Secretariat will be keeping track of time. When you get to 2 minutes, 30 seconds, he will present this sign to give you a 30-second warning on your remarks. So please try your best to keep within the time. We'll start today online with remarks from Austria.
Thank you for giving the opportunity for presenting the Austrian vaccine strategy. We think it's an excellent idea to exchange on our national strategies and to learn from each other. I would like to divide my statement into 2 parts. So the vaccine strategy from the perspective of the healthcare system and the strategy on research and pharma landscape. Regarding the healthcare system in Austria, there is a vaccination plan in place. It has been developed by a national vaccination committee and is adapted from time to time. And this national vaccination plan includes a childhood vaccination program that is also covered by the healthcare system. The costs are covered by the healthcare systems. And it also gives recommendations for vaccination for adults. And where we are struggling currently, and probably this could be also a discussion item, is a certain reluctance to vaccination in the population, in the Austrian population. And this has increased during the pandemic. And I'm extremely excited to hear about new technologies that have been presented by the Director General. These batches might also help to overcome this reluctance to vaccination. Regarding the research and pharma perspective, Austria has a small but fine landscape of pharma companies that are also vaccine manufacturers. The Austrian companies are represented in the Austrian Vaccine Manufacturer Association. And the major objectives of this Vaccine Manufacturer Association is to increase awareness, to increase vaccine coverage rates, and to increase access to vaccines for all age groups. In Austria, we have production sites, in particular for FSME and meningococcus C, a production site for vaccines used for animals, and as well as some sites producing key parts and elements for vaccines, for instance, also for COVID-19 vaccines, like the mRNA technologies. Regarding research, our national strategy, in particular after the pandemic, is to increase our research capacities in the field of infectious diseases and pandemic preparedness, and also to increase our international collaborations in the field. I can report some outcomes of the strategy. Just recently, we have celebrated the inauguration of a new research institute for infectious diseases in Austria, the Ignaz Semmelweis Institute. It's a collaboration between the Austrian medical universities and the Austrian veterinary university. And regarding intensifying our international collaborations, Austria is a long-standing member in the European and Developing Countries Clinical Trials Partnership, and we recently joined the International Vaccine Institute, and we are also delighted to have a small IVI office located in Vienna, and we are looking forward to the further collaborations. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Bauer. At this time, I'd like to recognize Brazil.
Thank you very much. Dear President of the Global Council of IVI, dear Director General, Dr. Jerome Kim, dear Chair of the IVI Board, I will be a bit longer than my colleague from Austria, but the government of Brazil has made a priority to strengthen its medical industrial complex as a new standard of sustainable development, driven by a mission to build a resilient healthcare industry. This is key for Brazil's unified health system as US, the biggest public health provider in the world, which guarantees free and universal access to healthcare for all residents of Brazil, including foreigners. Brazil's healthcare policies converge with the principles and objectives of the International Vaccine Institute and its goals of increasing the research and availability of effective and accessible vaccines for global health. These goals are more relevant than ever in face of the current challenges that were so explicitly explained today here. With a tradition of excellence in immunization, robust infrastructure, and operational capacity, alongside an innovative vision of health diplomacy and international engagement, Brazil's national immunization program, one of the world's largest, has set a global standard. It guarantees free access to 32 vaccines for all age groups and can vaccinate millions of people daily with a focus on the eradication and control of diseases such as polio, measles, rubella, tetanus, and hepatitis B, to name just a few. During the G20 in Brazil last year, we launched the Global Coalition for Local and Regional Production, Innovation, and Equitable Access to Vaccines, with a focus on vaccine therapies and diagnosis for neglected diseases and people in vulnerable situations, a goal shared by the IVI. At the national level, the Brazilian Ministry of Health supports strategic partnerships to strengthen national autonomy and technological capacity. Two notable examples are the Productive Development Partnership Program and the Local Development and Innovation Partnership Program, through which vaccines for dengue fever, avian influenza, and RSV are currently being developed. I finished my time. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ambassador. Next, recognizing Ecuador.
Thank you so much. Thank you, IVI and the Global Council, for this opportunity in participating in the meeting. For Ecuador, the relationship with IVI provides access to data and scientific evidence that can support informed public health decisions, and a strong relationship can facilitate access to new vaccines and technologies that could benefit for the country. But in Ecuador, lost the capacity for produce vaccines in this year 2012 because have decisions, political decisions in my country. But in this moment, therefore, today I wish to nominate in Ecuador for training program and hold professionals in Ecuador, as well as for technology transfer, so that Ecuador can once again produce vaccines as it did until 2012. It's for necessary for Ecuador produce other times vaccines, but it's very difficult acquire the vaccines in the actual scenario. In this moment in my country, have a yellow fever, 5 cases, and it's very difficult to shop in this moment the vaccine. But I can result for the strong relationship with the International Vaccine Institute and the Global Council are critical to improve Ecuador's public health infrastructure, provide the tools, resources, and expertise necessary to address current and future challenges related to vaccinations and disease control. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Recognizing El Salvador.
Yeah. Distinguished chairs, Director General Dr. Jerome King, members of the Board of Trustees, and esteemed delegate. It's a great honor for El Salvador to participate in the IVI Global Council meeting. I bring greeting on behalf of our President, Nayib Bukele, the Ministry of Health, and the people of El Salvador, with our firm commitment to contribute actively to this global community dedicated to vaccine equity and innovation. Since our accession to IVI in October 2024, El Salvador has made substantial strides in strengthening our health system. We are proud to report that today over 90% of our eligible population has access to routine immunization services. In the past year alone, we have launched initiatives that increase vaccine coverage in remote areas by 12%, and we are deploying mobile immunization units to ensure not community is left behind. However, we recognize that sustaining these gains and preparing for the future health challenge require more than access. It demands building national capacity for vaccine research, development, and production. Therefore, El Salvador has sent a clear strategy priority as becoming a regional partner for vaccine development in Central America, but investing in human talent and international partnerships. We are actively working on expanding our biotechnology research capability, and we are eager to engage further with IVI and its members to receive technical training, transfers of know-how, and participation in collaborative research projects. In this spirit, we look forward to working with IVI and these members in expanding regional training and capacity building programs to empower our country, like El Salvador, to develop local capacity, including clinical trials, management, quality control, regulatory preparedness. Strengthening mechanisms for technology transfers, not only for production, but also for upstream research and innovation processes, ensuring that knowledge reach all member states equally. Advancing a valuable vaccine access model by supporting a strategy that prioritizes vulnerable population, particularly in lower middle-income countries. Today, vaccine equity must be more than a principle. I think it must be a collective operational good. IVI leadership in this regard is vital. El Salvador's commitment to this shared mission, we are ready to invest, to learn, to contribute, and to grow together with IVIs and our fellow member countries. Thank you for allowing us to be part of this community. Together we can ensure a healthier, more equitable future for all. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Recognizing Finland.
Thank you very much, and happy to present views on the Finnish national vaccination program. The Ministry of Social Affairs and Health makes the decisions on the national vaccination program based on recommendations from an expert committee. Development of the program is based on health economics assessment and cost effectiveness, as well as safety and efficacy of vaccines. Vaccines in the program are financed from the central government budget, and they are confirmed by legislation. In order to keep prices down, all vaccines are put under competitive tendering every couple of years. Vaccinations are voluntary and free of charge. The Finnish Institute of Health and Welfare monitors the occurrence of disease-prevented vaccinations. Diseases prevented by vaccinations, apologies. And the safety of the vaccination program. Vaccination coverage in Finland is very high, and many diseases have become very rare or they have been eradicated. The vaccine program has for a long time been focused on children, and it currently covers 13 diseases. Recently, the focus has shifted to further developing the program for adults. Efforts are ongoing to add the shingles vaccine to the program after the process was paused by the pandemic. The regional needs for vaccines against tick-borne encephalitis are continuously reviewed. Finland has 70 years of experience of clinical trials. The Finnish Vaccine Research, FVR, is a specialist company in vaccine research with a comprehensive competence profile. It was formed in 2022 when the Tampere University's Vaccines Research Center and the Clinical Vaccine Research Group of the Finnish Institute for Health and Welfare were merged into a special assignment company by the Finnish state. FVR is owned by the Finnish state by 51% and the Tampere University Foundation by 49%. FVR conducts high-quality clinical studies, for example, on viral vaccines such as chickenpox, influenza, rotavirus, cytomegalovirus, coronavirus, RSV, and shingles vaccines. On a personal note, both my sons participated in the Rota trial 20 years ago. Also, bacterial vaccines such as meningococcal and pneumococcal vaccines are conducted there. Thousands of Finns participate as volunteers in the studies. Additionally, FVR conducts large-scale register studies utilizing nationwide comprehensive and timely health information, which we have collected for decades. Beyond the FVR, there is vaccine research in universities. The first in-human clinical trials for a Finnish nasal COVID-19 vaccine were recently started at the University of Kuopio. Finland does not have vaccine manufacturing. Thank you.
Thank you. Recognizing India.
So good morning to all of you once again. From India, I would like to say that vaccination for us is one of the most powerful and cost-effective public health interventions. It is available free of cost, and it's available at all public health facilities. The private sector also ensures vaccination, but then largely, I think the access is very widespread through the public infrastructure. Now, India's commitment to immunization is now spans an annual cohort of almost 2.9 crore pregnant women and 2.6 crore infant under the Universal Immunization Program, which covers 12 vaccine-preventable diseases through 11 vaccines. We have a whole of government of India approach, and we believe in Act Now policy. Now, for us, equitable vaccination means that all sections of society, irrespective of geography, gender, socioeconomic status, or disability, have access to life-saving vaccines. To make special efforts to ensuring access and to go, given the diversity of the geography of our country, we make special efforts and we do undertake targeted campaigns to ensure that they are accessed to all. In addition, we also largely rely upon our digital interventions, and we have of late invested heavily into our digital interventions to ensure that the access and coverage is mapped, every child is accounted for, and in case there are missed children, their list is generated, and we try to catch and cover all of them. Now, as far as on the vaccines itself, since its inception in 1985, we have been working on introduction of new vaccines, and 6 new vaccines were introduced in last 10 years, namely inactivated poliovirus vaccines, rotavirus, measles, rubella, pneumococcal conjugate, Japanese encephalitis, and tetanus, and adult diphtheria vaccines. Now, as far as our coverage goes, we are touching over 90% consistently, and many states we have 36 states and UTs, we are already touching around 100% in many of these states. So we are constantly working on going even deeper, diving into ensuring 100%. Recently, our focus and attention has been on elimination, and in the past we have eliminated polio and maternal and neonatal tetanus in 2015. Now we are also launched recently a measles rubella elimination campaign. Hopefully we will be targeting elimination of this disease as well. We also place a lot of emphasis on the surveillance and ensuring that all the guidelines that are laid down by WHO in ensuring good surveillance systems are duly are adhered to. And also we also try to ensure that this surveillance system is strengthened from block to national level by expanding our laboratory networks and integrated public health labs and enhancing capacity for outbreak detection, containment, and vaccine delivery. Now, we also largely understand that there is a requirement of a 360-degree approach in making any immunizations program successful, and therefore, largely, as I mentioned, technological advancement, global collaborations, renewed policy development, public awareness and health education, and strengthening supply chains. These are broad pillars on which we have been continuously working. We thank all the support that we have been receiving in terms of various technical inputs, the collaborations that come through, which has kind of, for a country of our size, I think we could have achieved the success we have achieved largely on account of all these factors. Thank you all. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Recognizing Kenya.
Thank you very much. First of all, I think again we want to appreciate IVI and our gratitude for being Kenya, being a council member is from last year. The Kenya strategy for vaccination is, number one, is a life course approach to vaccination. That is both childhood, adolescent, adult, and maternal. 80% of our coverage, or we have 80% coverage of our child vaccination. And there is an integration, strategies to integrate vaccination with other health services, that is antenatal clinic attendees and the school health program. We are prioritizing high impact vaccines based on disease burden, strengthening community engagement to build on vaccine confidence, and leveraging digital health solutions for improved data management. There are strengths in the Kenyan system. One is the well-established policies and standard operating procedures. We have strong partnerships with global health agencies. Okay. Oh, sorry. We have a strong partnership with global agencies. We also have a robust water supply chain system with an upgrade of cold chain equipment and experience with the pandemic vaccines, COVID-19, and functional disease surveillance system with the 12 centralized weather sites, and we have an active community health worker, community health promoter program. However, we are also having challenging opportunities. The persistent challenges, as you can see, is number one is that 40%, we are 40% the human resources, 40% below world standards with a poor distribution. Financing is heavily donor dependent. That 68% of our funding is from Gavi, and soon Gavi we are graduating from Gavi in 2030. So we really have to look at how we are going to be able to fund the vaccines. 15% of facilities still lack adequate equipment. Service delivery, geographic barriers, limiting access, limited laboratory capacity for detection, and demand is a persistent vaccine hesitancy for newer vaccines. The opportunities I've said is the digital health, so to use remote monitoring systems to improve cold chain reliability, regional coordination, looking at the whole Eastern African community for vaccine procurement mechanisms, the issue of domestic manufacturing, technology transfer for local production, and research platform at Cambridge to use the expertise and field research infrastructure that we have. And then the MLA3 status for us to be able to build for the emergency and emergency response. And then the other opportunity is the community health promoters. We have a community health promoter program that could be able to reach down at the community level. What are the partnerships or recommendations for action is that the desired outcomes that we are looking for is clinical development platform or the current status of existing preclinical and research infrastructure. Desired outcome, expedite clinical development pathways for priority vaccines. Then I have said also about the issue of manufacturing capacity. Or the current status is that we have a limited fill and finish capacity with no active IPA production, strong pharmaceutical sector foundation. Our desired outcome is technology transfer, partnerships optimized with a clear workforce development plan for sustainable local manufacturing. This is just a SWOT analysis of our systems, our strengths, strong policy foundation, institutional experience, extensive network of health facilities, high routine immunization coverage. Our weakness, health workforce shortages and distribution gaps, the donor dependency and limited domestic funding, supply chain disruptions and last mile challenges, suboptimal AFI reporting systems, opportunities, regional manufacturing and technology transfer, innovative financing mechanisms, digital health technology applications, integration with primary healthcare services. Our threats, Gavi transition, the financing gap, the increasing vaccine hesitancy, the conflict and climate change disruptions, and the infectious disease outbreaks. Thank you.
Thank you. Recognizing Korea.
Good morning, everybody. It's an honor to join you again since the last in-person Global Council meeting in Thailand last year. I see many familiar faces and extend a warm welcome to everyone who made the long journey to Seoul despite your demanding schedule. Reflecting on the remarkable journey of IVI, it is truly inspiring to witness how far the Institute has come. Since its establishment in Seoul, IVI has tirelessly advanced the development of its first group of vaccines, the oral cholera vaccine, and ensure their distribution to communities in need. Thanks to IVI's unwavering commitment, over 150 million doses have been deployed globally as of May 2024. IVI's second group of vaccines, the typhoid conjugate vaccine, has also achieved outstanding success. These vaccines have been authorized in Korea and India and have received the WHO PQ, marking a significant milestone in global health. A particularly notable achievement is IVI's expanding global footprint. Since the opening of the Austria country office in November 2022, IVI has established its European regional office in Sweden. Now IVI is preparing to launch an Africa regional office in Rwanda and a country office in Kenya. Alongside the establishment of Hong Kong Jockey Club, Global Health Institute in 2024. These expansions signify IVI's growing influence and its commitment to global health equity. As we look ahead, we need for stronger regional and global engagement has never been more critical. Recent shifts in international policy have underscored the fragility of global health cooperation. Infectious diseases continue to emerge unpredictably, as we have witnessed with outbreaks in avian flu, chikungunya, and measles, and so on. Such challenges call for unity, vigilance, and a commitment to multilateral collaborations. As Dr. Kim mentioned previously, in this context, KDCA Korea reaffirmed the commitment to standing alongside IVI, CEPI, and our global partners to establish and implement a future-proof response strategies. Together, we will continue to drive innovation, strengthen vaccine access, and address the health threat that challenges our shared future. Korea stands ready to enhance its role within IVI, ensuring that our collaborative efforts not only respond to current challenges, but set a stronger foundation for global health security. Thank you.
Thank you. Recognizing Pakistan.
Thank you, IVI, for inviting me and giving the opportunity to represent my country. I will be very brief to the point of discussions. Being Pakistan is the 5th largest country of the world, and we are involving in vaccine and biological manufacturing since 1970s, but at a limited capacity. We are addressing right now the restructuring of vaccine facilities, developing comprehensive vaccine policies, capacity building, and promoting public-private partnership, getting mRNA technology from MPP at R&D scales. And we have challenges like limited funds from government of Pakistan, limited vaccine capacity of tropical as well as API vaccine, dependencies on import. Pakistan relies heavily on the import of vaccines, and we have like opportunities for the investment in technology transfer, and also we have like a clinical trial over there. My third point is I will suggest the following suggestion to IVI. Capacity building and training. IVI can continue to provide training and capacity building program for local researchers, scientists, and production staff in LMICs, focuses on biological developments and manufacturing. This can achieve through collaboration with organizations like Global Training Hub for Biomanufacturing. Number 2 is my technology transfer and partnerships. Encourage technology transfer and partnership between IVI and LMICs to enhance local vaccine production capacity. This can include collaboration with international organizations, governments, and private sector partners. Regulatory framework strengthening, support strengthening regulatory framework in LMICs to ensure compliance with the international standards and guidance for vaccine development, production, and quality control. Research and development, promote research and development of new vaccine and vaccine candidates, particulars for disease prevalent in LMICs. IVI can facilitate collaboration between researchers and manufacturers in LMICs. Access and equity, implement strategies to ensure suitable access to vaccine in LMICs, such as tied pricings, differential pricing, and donation programs. Epidemics preparedness, enhance epidemics preparedness by strengthening surveillance systems, improve disease surveillance and outbreaks detection in LMICs, developing flexible vaccine platform support to development of flexible vaccine platform that can be quickly adapted to new pathogens, building vaccine capacity, increase vaccine manufacturing capacity in LMIC to reduce reliance on import, collaboration and coordination, foster collaboration and coordination amongst stakeholders, including governments, international organizations, manufacturers, and researchers to ensure a unified response to pandemics and health emergencies, funding and resources mobilization, explore funding opportunities and mobilize resources to support vaccine development, production, and research in LMICs. Thank you.
Thank you. Recognizing Panama.
Thank you very much. Esteemed members of the Global Council, distinguished guests and colleagues, it's an honor to represent Panama at this distinguished gathering organized by the International Vaccine Institute, an institution globally recognized for its critical contributions to vaccine equity, innovation, and capacity building. Panama has long been at the forefront of immunization innovation, driven by our expanded program of immunization. We have consistently demonstrated our commitment to public health by being among the first nations in Latin America to introduce new vaccines aimed at protecting our pediatric population, pregnant women, and older adults. This forward-thinking approach has significantly reduced morbidity and mortality rates across multiple infectious diseases. Only last week, during the vaccination week in the Americas, we announced the introduction of the nonavalent recombinant HPV vaccine, the 20-valent pneumococcal vaccine, and the RSV vaccine for pregnant women and the elderly. Beyond vaccine introduction, Panama actively participates in global vaccine development efforts, contributing substantially to pivotal clinical trials for dengue, pneumococcal, rotavirus, and polio vaccines. This participation underscores our country's commitment not only to national health, but also to regional and global public health. Building on these achievements, Panama has invested strategically in the establishment of the Regional Center for Innovation in Vaccines and Biopharmaceuticals, CRIP-AIP, developed in close partnership with the Texas Children's Hospital Center for Vaccine Development and the support of the International Vaccine Institute in Korea. The CRIP represents an unprecedented regional initiative dedicated to advancing vaccine research from early discovery through preclinical development. Our goal is clear: to create a robust platform supporting vaccine innovation across Central America and the Caribbean, fostering self-sufficiency, regional collaboration, and vaccine equity. Panama is not seeking to replicate, but to complement them by filling critical gaps in the region's preparedness. In this spirit, we support IVI's expansion strategy and welcome the opportunity to align CRIP with the IVI's priorities on end-to-end vaccine ecosystems, research and development of vaccines, regulatory readiness, and decentralization and decentralized clinical trials capacity. We hope that the affiliation of the CRIP to the IVI in the close future is a possibility. Recently, we were honored by the visit of Dr. Jarbas Barbosa, Director of the Pan American Health Organization, who chose Panama as the launching site for the vaccination week in the Americas. His recognition of our country vaccination program achievements further validates Panama leadership and dedication to public health excellence. Panama remains committed to strengthening global partnerships and enhancing capacities across low and middle-income countries through meaningful North-South, South-South, and triangular collaboration. We stand ready to share our experiences, learn from global best practices, and contribute actively to the mission of the Global Council and the International Vaccine Institute in ensuring equitable access to life-saving vaccines worldwide. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Recognizing Peru.
Distinguished IVI authorities and colleagues, I am pleased to share my country's post-pandemic experience and current national vaccination strategies from the perspective that they not only save lives, but also contribute to the economic and social well-being of our societies. Firstly, after COVID-19 pandemic, Peru institutionalized epidemiological surveillance through a health technical standard. Based on this, we have identified important areas for improvement that includes timely case reporting, capacity building, and the strengthening of human resources. Regarding our vaccination strategies, we have developed a diversified approach that includes over 8,000 health facilities nationwide and several mass vaccination campaigns that are complemented by follow-up visits. As best practices to share, I would like to highlight the development of a target strategies for indigenous communities and cold and frost zones populations, as well as the use of a nominal registry as a tool for monitoring vaccinations of children under 5 years old, which is continuously updated by local governments. This is complemented by an easy-to-access virtual vaccination card. Similarly, through the use of an electronic record information system, it is possible to track missing doses together with other relevant medical information, allowing a comprehensive approach. Finally, as good achievements, I would like to point out that last year, National Measles Vaccination Campaign protected more than 2.5 million children, allowing Peru to cease being a country without classification. Likewise, last year we updated the technical standard for immunization against the human papillomavirus, being administered free of charge to both females and males between the age of 9 and 18. Peru will remain a supporter of IVI programs and projects. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Recognizing the Philippines.
Good morning, distinguished guests. The Philippines has made significant strides in immunization. According to the WHO UNICEF National Estimates of Immunization Coverage, the country is no longer among the top 20 with the highest number of zero-dose children. As of January 20, 2025, the Partial Field Health Services Information System data for 2024 showed that 61% of 1.5 out of 2.4 eligible children in the Philippines are already considered fully immunized. This includes receiving 1 dose of BCG vaccine, 3 doses of pentavalent vaccine, and 3 doses of the oral polio vaccine, with 2 doses of measles-containing vaccine by the age of 12 months, with 933 children yet to complete their vaccines. However, children who receive their vaccines in private facilities remain unaccounted for, and this puts the vulnerable population at a continued risk from VPDs such as pertussis, diphtheria, and measles. In 2024, our Department of Health reinstated some vaccine strategies, such as the Bakuna Eskwela, wherein school-based immunization program offering vaccines for measles, rubella, diphtheria, and tetanus and HPV were given to school-age children. Also, as part of our National Immunization Acceleration Plan for 2024 to 2025, there were several initiatives highlighting effective immunization strategies that have been launched. In Region 12, one of the regions, there are coalition-building efforts which secured 70 million in investments for vaccination. In Region 3, we implemented the Reaching Every Purok strategy, which successfully expanded immunization access to remote communities. As you know, the Philippines is an archipelago and we have a lot of communities that are hard to reach. Also, in Cagayan Valley, we strengthened a cold chain management, ensuring the quality and efficacy of vaccines. In one of our areas in Cavite, we also developed the Bakuna Enumerator application, or the BEN app, which improved vaccination data management. Also, we had youth-led advocacy efforts, such as those Galing LNC Youth in Cavite and youth advocates through theater arts in one of the islands. And these particular activities have played a crucial role in increasing vaccine demand among the communities. In the special geographic areas of the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao, we have religious leaders also actively promoting immunization within their communities. We thank IVI for extending to our staff and scientists the opportunities for training and capacity development for the past years. We urge IVI to continue with these programs, and the Philippine government as well as the Department of Health are interested in vaccine development through partnerships and collaborations with other vaccine-producing countries to support the vaccine self-reliance and security in the region and in the world as well. Our institution, the DOH-RITM, is also involved in a lot of researches for vaccine-preventable diseases. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Turning online, we'd like to recognize Rwanda. And reminding that you have 3 minutes, please.
Thank you. So good morning once again. So Honorable Permanent Secretary, Director General of IVI, Chairperson IVI Board of Trustee, Chairperson of IVI Global Advisory Group, Global Council Representative. So thank you for giving me this opportunity to present on behalf of Rwanda. And I'd like also to recognize actually the opening of African Region Office in Kigali. Thank you a lot. So in Rwanda, vaccination of all targeted people remains among the top priorities of the Ministry of Health. So many achievements continue to be recorded. So different strategies have been put in place to ensure that the population need benefit from vaccination interventions. So recently, we concluded Marburg vaccination clinical trial phase 2, and it has been completed successfully. So 1,700 people have been vaccinated. And we are very happy that actually, since we reported the first case of Marburg, in only 9 days after the confirmation, actually, we received the vaccine and we launched vaccination. So we are keeping routine vaccination coverage very high. Current vaccination coverage is exceeding 95%. We have started to expand vaccination activities closer to the population by including a new layer of vaccination health posts in addition to health centers and hospitals. We will continue to strengthen vaccine-preventable disease and new emerging infection surveillance, and also we will be conducting regular sero surveys. Currently, we are vaccinating the high-risk population against Mpox using ring vaccination strategy. And I'd like to inform the audience that last month we initiated faster elimination of HPV infections and cervical cancer using concomitant HPV vaccine and HPV screening. We are targeting young women 23 years to 29 years who missed the chance of being vaccinated when we introduced HPV vaccine in 2011. So this is being done actually in collaboration with the University of Karolinska in Sweden and also with support from Merck. So new technologies, including distribution of vaccines using drone in very remote areas, is being done to ensure that actually we are increasing access to vaccines. And today I'd like to inform you that vaccination program in Rwanda is fully digitalized, and this is making much easier actually all vaccination operations. On 6th December last year, Rwanda FDA Food and Drug Authority was awarded actually maturity level 3, and this is in line of supporting also the local manufacturing of vaccine in Rwanda. So this is the ongoing project actually we're partnering with BioNTech. Currently, we are also focusing on capacity building. So we have launched master's program in biotechnology, in addition to vaccine and the health commodity supply chain management program actually hosted in the University of Rwanda. In near future, Rwanda is planning also to launch vaccinology course training at master's level. As I conclude, we invite IVI to be part of Rwanda's efforts to advance all these initiatives aiming at a closing gap from vaccine manufacturing, capacity building to service delivery. Thank you.
Thank you. We'd like to turn now to Spain. I realize that there is a technical difficulty. I'd like to give Daniel Ruiz a chance to turn on. If you're not with us, what we're going to do is we have your minutes and we will enter them. We have your remarks and we will enter them into the minutes from this meeting. And our apologies for the technical issue. Moving on, I'd like to recognize Sri Lanka.
It's a great honor and privilege to me to address the esteemed assembly today on behalf of Government of Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka's partnership with the International Institute of Vaccine has been a vital component of our immunization strategy. We are proud to be among the countries that recognize the unique role of IVI that plays in bridging the gap between research, production, and access to vaccine in developing nations. IVI mission of discovering, developing, and delivering safe, effective, and affordable vaccine align with our national commitment to universal health care. Sri Lanka's national immunization program has been a cornerstone of our public health achievements, with a long-standing reputation for high coverage and public trust. From the elimination of polio and neonatal tetanus to the introduction of HPV vaccine for cervical cancer prevention, Sri Lanka has consistently prioritized immunization as a critical investment in human capital. We are encouraged by IVI's commitment to research in neglected tropical diseases and diseases disproportionately affecting lower income populations. Sri Lanka commends the initiative of the IVI in advocating the inclusion of leptospirosis in the WHO neglected tropical diseases list. Leptospirosis shares a key feature of NTDs affecting vulnerable populations thriving in conditions of poverty and poor sanitation. Its inclusion would catalyze resources, research, and coordinated response. Sri Lanka, together with Thailand, will be co-sponsoring this proposal to the WHO Assembly. We remain committed to working with IVI and all its partners to build a world where access to vaccine is not a privilege but a right. A world where birthplace of a child does not determine whether they survive a preventable disease. Thank you.
Thank you. Now I'd like to recognize Sweden.
Thank you for this opportunity to address these questions in the Global Forum. So there is a strong will to work with vaccines to improve public health in Sweden and also to contribute to this field globally. And vaccine has an important place in Sweden's national strategy for improved health. And we have a robust childhood vaccination program, and we also recently added the first adult vaccination programs on pneumococcal vaccines from 75 years old. And the vaccine programs are free of charge, and all vaccinations are voluntary. And we have also several recommendations for adults, and they are sometimes provided for free by the regions. And two of the most recent are pertussis vaccination during pregnancy, and then an HPV recommendations for both genders up to 26 years of age. And vaccine research in Sweden, it's generally focused on basic research in early stages of vaccine development, and for example, high-profile analysis in immune responses. But there are also initiatives for a platform for clinical studies and previous successful vaccine trials in pneumococcal and pertussis vaccines. And we also have the examples of oral vaccines against cholera, as Dr. Kim mentioned, and the ETEC infections. And we will continue the work in that field. And also Sweden has previously contributed to the work of prototype vaccines for COVID-19, Crimean Congo hemorrhagic fever, and flavivirus, for example. And we, in this statement, we also want to highlight the area of equity and access. And even though we have a high coverage, we work a lot in this field of access and equity of vaccines, and we have the Public Health Agency also committed to contribute to the research in this field, where we have now a good competence in the behavioral insights and implementation studies. And moving on to the pandemic and the lessons learned from that, During the pandemic, we established 2 cohorts, one of health personnel and another of elderly people living in nursery homes, and these were cohorts we didn't have before. And the results of continuously taking tests and vaccinating these cohorts, this has contributed significantly to our recommendations during the COVID period. And we also have lessons learned about to have stocks for both vaccines and for healthcare material, and to increase work in surveillance. And we have a national safety laboratory which can be scaled up. And we also contributed globally with donations on vaccines, and there we will work more on the strategy and the system for this to continue with that. Thank you.
Thank you. Recognizing Thailand.
Thank you very much. Dear all esteemed delegates, so for Thailand National Vaccine Strategy, as a cornerstone of our public health system, has been built on 3 key pillars. The first one is equitable access to essential vaccine through a strong national immunization program, or NIP, for all age groups and free of charge in our country. The second one is to support for domestic research and development and local vaccine production. And the third one is the preparedness for emerging infectious disease through surveillance, stockpiling, and rapid response mechanism. Our NIP has established for more than 40 years. As a vaccine self-funded country, new vaccines have been continuously prioritized and introduced into our program under scrutinized scientific and cost analysis process. In terms of capability, Thailand has made significant investment in strengthening national regulatory system, enhancing cold chain logistics, and training healthcare workers, especially in outbreak response. We also collaborate regionally and globally, including the IVI and Sri Lanka, to push forward leptospirosis as a global public health agenda by raising awareness in the upcoming World Health Assembly side event 2025. This would also need strong support for our GC members as well. Thailand Vaccine Security Strategic Plan aims to ensure equitable access to vaccine nationwide. In normal times, efforts are directed toward building capacity in vaccine development, infrastructure, and workforce. Preparedness for emergencies, priorities shift to accelerating R&D, facilitating technology transfer, and securing vaccine procurement. Thailand is also strengthening its vaccine ecosystem through close collaboration among research institutes, government, and industry. Regarding the reduction of US support to health matters, we believe that collaboration among us will increase the efficiency, avoid of duplication efforts, and investment, including advance the capacity on vaccine field. Going forward, we are committed to sustaining routine immunization while improving our readiness for future health emergencies. We will also strengthen our capacity for local vaccine production. We believe that global solidarity and investment in local capacity are key to ensuring equitable and timely access to vaccine in every country. Thank you.
Thank you. Recognizing the United Arab Emirates.
Good morning, everyone. I'm pleased to be with you today and present the experience of the United Arab Emirates' current priorities and related to national immunization strategies and capabilities. National vaccine strategies and capabilities have become critical priorities, especially after the pandemic. Now it is the best time to focus on the strengthening vaccine infrastructure coverage, public health integration strategies, and many other important initiatives. Vaccines are one of the most cost effectiveness and efficient public health intervention to save the lives every year. And vaccination is considered the best strategy in mitigating the disease separate. To build the sustained and strong capability for vaccination, there should be a comprehensive strategy which composed of many elements to reach successful outcomes. Our national immunization program and adult recommended vaccination program by specific categories are up to date, and the UAE National Immunization Technical Advisory Group and ITAC team are meeting periodically and reviewing the vaccination programs and recommending for any update using the evidence to recommendations framework. And last year we had a training workshop by WHO for capacity building for the UAE NITAC members with the participants of around 23 members. And our priorities are preparedness plan for any outbreaks and train the healthcare worker professionals, and also research, digital infrastructure, healthcare data, and electronic systems are highly important to supporting our planning, analysis, reviewing, and decision, and provide timely and accurate data such as dashboards and database. Also, human resource capability building by continuous training. This time is the best time to collaborate at all levels and rethink and redesign the mitigation strategies to handle dealing with vaccine preventable disease and any pandemics in the future. In summary, we encourage to focus on different areas in innovative ways and suggest strategies priorities for future plan include focusing on research and vaccine development, especially at local level, investing in e-health systems such as electronic platforms and smart applications. Surveillance and monitoring is also very critical for real-time data on vaccine preventable disease, vaccine coverage, adverse events, and ensure population immunity at different levels. Strengthen collaboration among scientists from the country and the world, and assisting develop new strategies, technologies to prevent future pandemics. Also supporting the strategy of multi-sectorial approach and One Health approach for combating the structural pandemics and re-emerging disease. Our national vaccination strategy today are focused not only on the immediate goal of controlling current infectious disease, but also on building long-term resilient in public health systems. The priorities of equitable access, innovative vaccine research, overcoming the vaccine hesitancy, and strengthening the healthcare infrastructure are essential to combating both current and future global health challenge. Finally, effective national vaccination strategies require a collaborative approach between government, international organization, private sectors, and local communities. Thank you.
Thank you. Recognizing Uzbekistan, and remarks will be on the screen for you to read.
Добрый день, уважаемые коллеги. Вакцинация является наиболее эффективным методом профилактики инфекционных заболеваний. В Узбекистане достаточно хорошая, компетентная законодательная база, согласно которого подлежит определенный контингент населения вакцинации. Следующий слайд. В стране уделяется пристальное внимание обеспечению безопасной своевременной вакцинации населения на основании плана профилактических прививок. Ежегодно рассчитывается потребность на вакцинах и средствах безопасности иммунизации. Плановая обязательная вакцинация является прививки против 13 видов инфекционных заболеваний: дифтерия, коклюш, сорняк, туберкулез, вирусный гепатит Б, полиомиелит, кор, краснуха, эпидемический паротит, ротавирусная инфекция и пневмококковая инфекция, а также против рака шейки матки. Следующий слайд. С 2004 года республики осуществляется централизованная поставка вакцинных препаратов. Если мы раньше частично финансировали на закуп вакцинных препаратов, начиная с 2024 года Узбекистан 100% закупает вакцину за счет собственных средств. Плановая вакцинация в Узбекистане осуществляется в 3738 прививочных пунктах, и иммунизация новорожденных прививается против туберкулеза и гепатита Б в родильных домах. В течение последних десятилетия, 20 лет, охват вакцинации у нас в республике составляет свыше 95%. Результаты проводимых мероприятий, начиная с 1996 года у нас в республике нет регистрации полиомиелита. В 2002 году Узбекистан получил сертификат об элиминации. И у нас был сертификат Всемирной организации здравоохранения о элиминации кори и краснухи в течение 36 месяцев. В последующем особое внимание уделяется постоянному совершенствованию национального календаря профилактических прививок. С 2010-2018 года в стране не было зарегистрировано кор и краснуха. 19-20 годы были завозные случаи. После пандемии, следующий слайд, резко обострилась ситуация по коре, и в 2023 году было зарегистрировано 8 тысяч случаев, в 2024 году 20 тысяч случаев. В основном болеют дети непривитые. В эту группу входят дети даже до 1 года, кому еще нету прививочного возраста. Но хочу сказать, что для борьбы с корью страна приобрела вакцину 8 миллионов доз, и на сегодняшний день эпидемическая ситуация нормализовалась. На сегодняшний день эпидемическим показаниям прививаются дети 6-месячного возраста. При Министерстве здравоохранения создан национальная техническая группа по вопросам иммунизации, в которой входят все ученые, специалисты, международные организации, практически врачи, которые рассматривают календарь и вопросы иммунизации в целом. Спасибо большое.
Thank you. Turning online, recognizing Vietnam.
So, hi everyone, and now I would like to say Vietnam's vaccine strategies and capacity. As of now, Vietnam has a population of approximately 99 million. Our country comprises 63 provinces and cities, with over 14,000 immunization facilities. Our immunization consists of two main activities: the expand program on immunizations and outbreak response immunizations. We currently cover more than 10 types of vaccines, and will include several more in the near future. Vietnam has achieved high vaccines coverage in the populations, not only within the expand program, but also for vaccine outside the program. We aim to maintain and enhance the vaccination rate to above 90% by 2025 and above 95% by 2030. About the production capacity, Vietnam currently has 4 vaccines manufacturing facilities that meet GMP standards, and these facilities are capable of producing tens of millions of vaccines doses annually, meeting domestic demand and targeting export markets. And after 14 years of preparations, Vietnam has been recognized by the World Health Organization as meeting the NRH standards. And this affirms our country's regulatory capability and the quality of domestically produced vaccines, paving the way for export to international markets. And for the pandemic prepare activities, in response to pandemics, we always integrate epidemiology, surveillance, monitoring of outbreak zones and critical case, and initiate early vaccinations campaign. So our government has implement digital health tools such as the electronic health record to manage immunization data and monitors the outbreaks. And this system facilitates public access to information and supports effective epidemic control efforts. So in conclusions, Vietnam has made significant progress in vaccine strategy and capacity, from mastering production technology and engaging in international cooperations to expanding immunization programs and achieve international certifications. And these efforts not only protect public health domestically, but also enhance Vietnam's standing on the global health. And thank you for your listening.
Thank you. I'd now like to invite Dr. Opart to close the session.
Thank you. Thank you to all Global Council members for sharing your priority and insights. And we will now turn on our focus to another pressing public health concern, influenza H5. Given the recent developments and growing global attention, this session will explore vaccine preparedness, current stockpiling strategies, and collaborative approach to ensure timely response in the event of an outbreak. May I now give the floor to Mr. McCain to moderate and begin the session, please.
Thank you, Dr. Opart. I would now like to invite Professor Wooju Kim of Korea University to provide the global context of the ongoing H5N1 influenza outbreaks.
Hi, good morning. I'm Wooju Kim from Vaccine Innovation Center, Korea University of College of Medicine. The title of talk requested by the organizer is Global Context of the Ongoing Avian Influenza H5N1 Outbreak. Next slide, please. 2 years after the end of the COVID-19 pandemic, H5N1 is considered a leading candidate for the next pandemic. 30 years after H5N1, H5N1 first appeared, this virus has met 2 of the 3 necessary conditions for a pandemic to occur. This novel virus appeared in goose in 1996, then caused 18 human cases through zoonotic transmission in Hong Kong in 1997. The virus has caused sporadic human infections until recently, with a cumulative total of more than 900 confirmed cases and a fatality rate of about 48%. However, this virus has not yet acquired the ability to transmit efficiently from human to human. This virus has not yet obtained the final key to the pandemic occurrence. Next slide, please. Over the past 100 years, there has been 4 influenza pandemics with an 11 to 41 years cycle. Each pandemic has taken a huge human and society economic toll. The 1918 Spanish pandemic, for example, it caused 50 million deaths. This H5N1 virus caused 18 human infections and 6 deaths in Hong Kong in 1997, raising global pandemic fears, including the World Health Organization, but has yet to cause a pandemic. For 30 years, this virus spread over by a migrant bird to 5 continents of the world, causing pan-zoonotic outbreaks that killed many millions of chickens and dogs. The virus has acquired the ability to infect mammals through genetic mutation, and reassortment has infected more than 40 species of mammals. Some of them are dead. It has caused sporadic human infection since 2003, resulting in a cumulative total of 964 confirmed infections and 466 deaths in 24 countries all over the world. Next slide, please. Wild migratory birds are natural reservoir of many avian influenza viruses, including H5N1. The virus spread from wild migratory bird to poultry, causing large-scale outbreaks, mass mortality, and devastating agriculture industry. It has also infected mammals such as dog and cat, tigers, and marine mammals such as seals and sea lions. In March 2024, the virus infected dairy cows in the United States, causing outbreaks and some human infections. The H5N1 epidemic in dairy farms is ongoing, with infrequent cases of human infection. The virus is infecting a wide range of birds and mammals, and human infections are occurring as contact opportunities increase. Next slide, please. The virus has begun circulating in southern China, South Korea, and Southeast Asia around 2003, then spread to Africa, Middle East, and Europe around 205. As the virus has continued to spread, it has differentiated into different clades of viruses. In particular, clade 2.3.4.4b viruses across the Atlantic Ocean from Europe to via a migrant bird and landed on the North American continent in late 2021. The outbreak soon spread to South America and Antarctica. Avian influenza virus outbreaks have now been reported all 5 continents except Oceania. Currently, clade 2.3.4.4b is the most common avian influenza virus driving the pandemic. Next slide, please. H5N1 clade 2.3.4.4b exhibit genetic features indicative of adaptation to mammals and potential for further evolution. While key human transmissible mutations are not yet widespread, the broad host range, evolving receptor binding, polymerase adaptation, long neuraminidase stock, and reassortment risk necessitate for pandemic occurrence. Fortunately, while these genetic features raise concerns, the virus has not yet acquired all necessary genetic changes for efficient human-to-human transmission, which is the last step for the pandemic occurrence. Next slide. A comprehensive and globally coordinated approach is essential to effectively combat an H5N1 pandemic. These include robust surveillance, proactive preparedness, effective prevention strategies, and strong international collaboration. Most importantly, stockpile a pre-pandemic vaccine using the H5N1 candidate vaccine virus and prepare a mass production system to rapidly develop a pandemic vaccine in the event of an emergency. Even during the COVID-19 pandemic, social distancing and lockdown have significant socio-economic adverse effect. So a rapid ending of the pandemic through mass vaccination campaign is the most effective strategy. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Kim. At this time, I would like to invite Dr. Sapon Iamsiri Tharon, Inspector General in the Office of the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Public Health, to deliver his presentation on H5N1. Dr. Sapon.
Thank you very much, and honorable GC members. I'd like to share the concern on the H5N1 vaccine and potential pandemic, as mentioned by Professor Kim. The HPAI avian influenza H5N1 remains a significant zoonotic threat with the potential to trigger a global pandemic. The viruses have circulated widely across multiple continents, causing severe outbreaks in poultry, dairy cows, and other mammals. Sporadic human infections observed. In this presentation, I will talk about the vaccine preparedness and the regional cooperation efforts to the One Health approach. As we see on the slide, nearly 1,000 human cases have been reported since 2003, and the persistent zoonotic threat will result in more cases. Thailand reported 25 cases, including 17 deaths during 2004 to 2006. Fortunately, no new cases since 2007. However, we maintain the active poultry and human surveillance. Looking at the reports from some ASEAN countries, we have seen the cases in Cambodia, Indonesia, Laos, PDR, and Vietnam, and also China. The latest alert was just last month when the 8-year-old girl in Vietnam developed fever, headache, and symptoms of encephalitis. And we will see some more cases. On the right-hand side is the spread of the virus in animals around the world. For Thailand, we work closely with our ASEAN counterpart on the One Health concept. For the human health sector, we enhance the surveillance and rapid response mechanism for detection of the suspected cases. In the animal sector, they monitor poultry and wildlife population for abnormal deaths and illness. In the environmental health sector, the routine sampling of water and wastewater for virus detection have been done. The regional cooperation, for example, the ASEAN Vaccine Security and Self-Reliance Initiative provide a good platform for information sharing, human capacity development, and we discussed the potential of regional vaccine stockpile as well as the pool procurement. For the vaccine preparedness, we know that current stockpile are limited. Some countries maintain H5N1 vaccine for the high-risk population, for example, the poultry workers. However, we see that there are at least 4 different clades of the viruses circulating in animals around the world. So the WHO regularly updates the vaccine library for rapid pandemic response. Mismatch between the current strain of the viruses and existing stockpile vaccine is a major challenge. We have a good opportunity for the new technology like the mRNA-based vaccine that shows strong protection against the current strains. Thailand is seeking the international collaboration for the H5N1 vaccine development. For example, working with the IVI and also the SK Bioscience of the Korea for the technology transfer, the research development cooperation. The Thai government also invested in the facility upgrades and also equipment procurement, and we hope to have the domestic production and the vaccine supply in the country, either for the seasonal influenza vaccine and also the pandemic vaccine. We believe well preparation can minimize the negative impact of the next pandemic. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Sapon. At this time, I'd like to open the floor to the Global Council for a couple minutes for questions and comments, recognizing Finland.
Thank you. I would like to share the Finnish experience. That was very recent. In 2023, the H5N1 avian influenza virus caused an extensive epidemic in farmed fur animals in Finland and exposed hundreds of people to the virus. Epidemics in mammals are particularly concerning due to the potential of the virus to mutate and develop into a pandemic strain. In particular, minks, which was the case in Finland, are regarded as a highly potent springboard for pandemic influenza, facilitating the adaptation of avian influenza viruses through adaptive mutations and reassortment to mammals and humans. Because of the exceptional epidemic situation and the risk of H5N1 evolving into a pandemic virus, Finland decided to procure avian influenza vaccines for persons who are at risk of being exposed to avian influenza, mainly people who were directly linked to this outbreak. We acquired an avian influenza vaccine. It was a zoonotic influenza vaccine, Securus R, which was granted marketing authorization in the EU in April 2024. A two-dose vaccination series for persons in the target groups was implemented during July and August 2024, before the autumn influenza season, and 638 doses were administered. And we had a new campaign began in March 2025 when the migratory birds returned to Finland. Our National Institute is carrying out a phase 4 immunogenicity and safety study among the subgroup of those vaccinated for assessment of vaccine-induced humoral immune responses and mucosal and cell-mediated immunity. Yearly follow-up samples and samples after possible vaccine booster doses are collected up to 10 years. No human cases of avian influenza have been detected in Finland. More than 500 persons were considered as exposed to avian influenza during the epidemic in wild birds and fur farms during 2023-2024. In 24, only a single case of avian influenza in a bird was detected in Finland and no cases in fur animals. In 2023, there were a total of 36 laboratory-confirmed outbreaks detected in birds, 71 outbreaks in fur farms, and 4 single cases in other wild animals. The extensive One Health collaboration helped to successfully quell the outbreak in Finland, and it was partially due to the experiences of the health sector during the pandemic that we were able to share with the animal sector, for example, in adapting legislation for loss of income from the enterprises. That was really essential in Finland. Thank you.
Thank you. Floor is still open for any other additional comments or questions. Comments on H5N1 programs in your country, or questions for our speakers. I see Kenya, recognizing Kenya.
Yeah, I just want to give the situation in about H5N1 in Africa. Is what we are experiencing as of March 2025, H5N1 has been reported in multiple African countries, thus including Togo, Niger, and Burkina Faso, with recent notifications for H5N1 in poultry in March 2025, as reported to the WHO. We don't have yet a case in Kenya. However, we have established 12 sentinel surveillance sites for influenza-like illness monitoring through diagnostic capacity for avian influenza, particularly genomic and genomic sequencing remains very limited. Our regional vulnerabilities, East Africa faces unique challenges with the H5N1. This is because one is that migratory bird routes connecting Africa to Europe and Asia, we just right at those routes. The porous borders with minimal biosecurity measures, the mixed poultry farming practices with limited biosecurity. As the current preparedness is that in Kenya, we have an emergency operations center, but regional coordination mechanisms for rapid response to avian influenza outbreaks need strengthening. A laboratory capacity, there has been investment in laboratory capacity to FAO, ECTAD, including proficiency testing schemes for avian influenza virus in East Africa, along with the procurement of reagents and consumables to enhance the diagnostic testing. However, there's need for a lot of capacity building, especially on these particular areas of sequencing and the laboratory and surveillance for H5N1. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, recognizing Thailand.
Thank you very much. I would like to add on the information that's very important as a warning sign that we have seen the transmission of avian influenza to the mammals. Previously, we have seen for only among the birds or the poultry farm, but right now last year we've seen in the mammals, in the cattle, in dogs, cats, or sea lions. That's a warning sign that the adaptation of the virus come closer to human. Yeah, and concerning of the global capacity of the influenza vaccine, based on an egg-based influenza vaccine, which will need more time of the production of the vaccine. And also, if the outbreak occur among the poultry farm first, it will be difficult to find egg to produce a vaccine during the pandemic. Seeing that, yesterday we have seen the successful of influenza vaccine cell-based of SK Bioscience. I would encourage IVI to see the opportunity of collaboration, expand the collaboration of cell-based influenza vaccine of SK Bioscience to our member state in appropriate manner where they have the capacity of vaccine production on cell-based viral vaccine. That would be increase our preparedness on vaccine response. Another point is that as in WHO mRNA vaccine program assigned Thailand to work on mRNA vaccine as well on the WHO mRNA, and IVI is also in collaboration with WHO mRNA vaccine capacity. So right now Thailand is from NVI, National Vaccine Institute of Thailand, we provide the initial funding on H5N1 mRNA vaccine. That would be another alternate source of vaccine that if we can produce in a timely manner of the vaccines in case of outbreak or pandemic. So that would be another option that we can prepare ourselves, and have seen several member states mention on mRNA capacity that I think that one of the approach that we should move to be on the preparedness of influenza pandemic. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yes, recognizing Brazil.
Thank you, and I thank the expert from Thailand for his explanations. I don't belong to your world. I am basically just a diplomat. But I do have some comments to make here. The first is that despite the relatively low number of cases, human cases, I would say, the fatality rate and the potential for expansion of contamination justifies the concern for developing and having means of delivering vaccines to everybody. As I understand from what has been said here, there are already vaccines available. There are new means of delivery being explored, like the map patch thing. But how far are we really, have we really gone so far if we have a pandemic starting, let's say, next year? Because we have cattle contamination, we know that. We have cases of not only poultry workers, but cattle workers being contaminated. We don't have a clear case of person-to-person infection, but we may have one. So this is a question that I hope the many experts here present can help me with an explanation. Thank you.
Thank you. Any additional comments or questions?
Actually, Colin,
Yes.
maybe someone from the ministry, maybe Dr. Sapon, or maybe is Suju Kim still on? They can answer the ambassador's question.
Certainly. Yeah. Professor Kim, are you still online? Can you hear us?
Yes, I'm here. What's the question correctly? I do not hear the question. The point of the question.
I can repeat. Are you hearing me?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. My question is, given that there is potential for more contamination and that there is potential for epidemics, and given that the fatality rate is quite high, how far are we really from the point where we would have some vaccines available for mass production and a mass distribution around the world? Thank you, Professor.
Thank you very much. As you know, H5N1 case fatality among humans is in total 48%. But recently, within 3 or 5 years, the case fatality is markedly decreased, or 2 or 3%, which is a good sign. But maybe that lower case fatality in human means it may be more close to occur a pandemic in the near future. Cause fatality rate decrease, that then transmissibility may be increased. That's the bad sign. But fortunately, if the influenza pandemic occur in the future, fortunately we have good seasonal influenza vaccine manufacturing, which include egg or cell culture and adjuvanted vaccine. We already experienced 2009 influenza pandemic from H1N1 swine flu pandemic. We experienced lesson learned during that time. We can also have a mRNA vaccine platform. We experienced during COVID-19 pandemic. We quickly make a COVID-19 vaccine within 1 year. mRNA vaccine platform make quickly vaccine production within 3 months. That's a good thing. If the influenza pandemic occurred, we could increase vaccine production within 3 or 5 months. That's a good thing. So we need more vaccine development, vaccine pre-pandemic stockpiling. Already Finnish government presented their experience. They give the H5 vaccine on the poultry workers and healthcare workers in the front line. So we need more focus on the pre-pandemic stockpiling and mass vaccine production capabilities. As you experienced, we during COVID-19 pandemic, mass lockdown and social distancing was needed in the early time before pandemic vaccine arrived. That is not good. Lockdown caused a lot of adverse effect, socio-economic damage, a lot of travel restriction. That is not good. That's why I impressed pandemic preparedness, including pre-pandemic vaccine stockpiling and mass vaccine production is most important for the time being. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Professor. It was very clear and very enlightening for me. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any additional questions or comments? Seeing none, I would like to invite Dr. Opart to close the session.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. McCann. Thank you, Dr. Kim, Dr. Sopon, for your excellent presentation and discussion. And thanks also to the member state for your valuable contribution. Next, shall we move to the last session, which is about the next 2025 Virtual Global Council meeting. I would like to invite Ms. Young Mi Cho to present this to you, please.
Thank you. So for the next meeting, to be held virtually. We'd like to, the Global Council Secretariat would like to propose meeting in October this year, and we will coordinate together with the President Office, Global Council President Office, to fix the time and the date of this meeting. And then for proposed topics include election of the next president of the Global Council, and leptospirosis and call for action. So we will have a World Health Assembly event, and then we would like to encourage this GC members to join this call for action. And then update on IVI strategies and priorities. And 2026 Global Council meeting planning. And also, we would like to address the need to elect or nominate Global Council Vice President from the succeeding presidency region, so which will be Afro. And then for Global Council, we would like to also seek your recommendation for the next topic, if anything need to be discussed in October. Thank you.
Okay. Any question?
Okay, thank you. Are there any questions or comments on the proposed online meeting in October?
Okay, no question. Okay.
Yes, please.
Okay. No question.
Are there any questions,
no
any
comment?
comments?
No.
If not, we can circle back with all of you with additional information and reach a consensus online.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Cho, for your presentation, and looking forward to meeting all IVI members for our next meeting. Finally, we have come to the closing session. Please allow me to start my closing remarks. Distinguished Global Council members and honorable participants, as we conclude today's meeting, I would like to express my sincere thanks for your valuable contribution, your active engagement and commitment to our shared goals and critical as we move forward in strengthening global vaccine efforts. The discussion we have had today, particularly regarding our work on leptospirosis, influenza preparedness, and vaccine equity, have been both insightful and encouraging. The recommendation put forward during this meeting will provide essential guidance for the work ahead, helping us address the evolving global health challenges in a timely and impactful manner. On behalf of the Global Council, I would like to thank you again for your dedication and partnership. Your contribution and invaluable in advancing vaccine development, expanding access, and driving global health solutions for the benefit of all. I look forward to continuing our partnership and reconvening at our next virtual meeting later this year. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you very much as well, Dr. Opart, for your continued leadership as leading the Global Council Presidency. Your Excellencies, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the IVI Global Council Secretariat, it is my pleasure to invite all of you to a lunch at IVI headquarters. For your information, there are buses waiting outside that can take you to the office. It's a very quick 2-minute drive. So please feel free to head out to the buses. Thank you.